You're actually here to talk about urban myths. We'll get onto that in a moment, but I just want to put something to rest here, or whether or not you can put something to rest. Is it an urban myth that there will be a Life on Mars movie?
I always get asked this. You know, I can't see it happening, if I'm honest, you know, just because we're all dead as characters.
Well, you're not.
Well, I'm kind of on the cusp of... I'm not quite sure where I am in the scheme of things at the end of Ashes to Ashes, but I don't know. We're all a bit older now. It was quite a long time ago, you know.
I know, but that doesn't mean it's not a good time.
I know what would happen.
We quite like that nostalgia.
They'll remake it in about 5 years with young people.
No, don't say that.
Younger people.
It won't be the same.
Exactly.
It'll be rubbish and we'll all not watch it.
Right, so let's get on to why you are actually here. This is the return of urban myths, which is such a brilliant idea. One-off comedy dramas. And the theme is stories that happened in Hollywood or in the arts or in literature or in music. And I assume with them there is an element of poetic licence.
Yes, for sure. This is the second series of them, and they're on Sky Arts. And the great thing is, yeah, I mean, the one that I've done is basically about the rap group Public Enemy. And what happened to Chuck D and Flavor Flav was that they missed their tour bus. The tour bus drove off without them. They were going to a gig in Sheffield.
How's that happen?
How's
that happen?
Exactly. So this chap was just driving past in his Ford Focus called Kev Wells, completely unassuming, and they flagged him down and basically said, look, we need to get to the gig. So he drove them to the gig. And
he was a massive Public Enemy fan as well.
And he was a huge Public Enemy fan. So I don't know, we have it started where he's sort of signing, basically, at the record shop. And he's supposed to be picking his son up. And, of course, he's delayed in picking his son up. But then he has to, when he does actually finally arrive at home, to prove to his wife...
what he's actually done.
What he's actually done. They take a picture.
Isn't real life brilliant? Because if you'd have somebody had just written that, you'd be like, there's no way that would happen.
Well, that's the great thing about... I mean, one of the great things about this show is also because... you know, you shoot them in 4 or 5 days, you know, and you get sort of a mixture of established writers and new writing.
OK.
And same with directors, established directors and new directors. And it's such a cross-broad of shows. There's one about behind the scenes of Live Aid, you know, and the argument between Midge Ure and Bob Geldof. There's a meeting of Salvador Dali and Alice Cooper in 1973, and... I mean...
And great actors as well. And pulls in really good people.
There's Gemma Arterton playing Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah. Jack Whitehall as well.
And Jack Whitehall's playing Mark Bolan. And I think it's Luke Treadaway
David Bowie, isn't it, as well? There's the two of them.
Before they were famous, and their manager, they were the same manager, because they didn't have any money, he made him decorate his office.
Well, the real Kev Wells came down to the set, didn't he?
He did.
And so was he happy that you were
Well, I don't know if he's seen it yet. So he was happy on the day.
Yeah.
But, that's the real Kev.
He wasn't happy with the colour of the car, though.
No, he didn't like the colour of the car because it was a blue Ford Focus, and because he's from Sheffield, he's a big Blades fan. So he's a Sheffield United fan, who are the Reds, and Sheffield Wednesday are blue. So he's a bit miffed about that.
It's funny, because you look at with that sort of montage we had at the beginning of the interview there of your life. Your plan initially, right at the very beginning, was never to be in front of the camera.
No, I wanted to be a milkman originally. I thought the hours were good. No, well, I wanted to... I kind of figured that I'd probably go into the industry in some form, but I always thought I'd be behind the camera, which was like my father. My father was a television director, and, whereas my brother, Rob, had wanted to act from a very early age, you know, whereas I kind of just sort of... Oh, there you go. Look at that.
There you are.
Spot the younger one. And so, yeah, so that was the plan. And I'm still working on it, but I just haven't quite got there yet.
So it's something of a dynasty, then, really?
Oh, God, I don't like that word, dynasty.
Well, you've got...
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, my nephew Tom is just leaving drama school this year, I think, and so he wants to act, and my 2 girls... I don't, you know, I always just say to young people going into the profession now, I just say, just have another string to your bow, just in case, because it is so tough, particularly for actresses over actors, because the parts just aren't there. you know.
So what do you say to your daughters then in that case? You
become a lawyer. You want to dress up, put a wig on, earn some money, become a lawyer. That's what I say.
So you wouldn't encourage it?
No, I mean, I'd never stop them doing what they wanted to do, but, you know, you've got to have such a passion for it and such a drive. And I think the other thing is the biggest thing, you've got to be able to cope with rejection, because 98% of our job is rejection. If you can't cope with it, don't do it.
Just pick on what you said just then. You said about the roles for women in this industry. But is it not beginning to change? I mean,
yes,
you must have noticed a big change.
Yes, it is. I mean, there's obviously the things like the Me Too group, and then there's ERA, which my wife is very involved in, as am I, which is equal rights for actresses. A representation for actresses, sorry. So, which is sort of across the board to do with equal pay and just having, you know, equal rights to parts and knowing that there are, you know, parts for women, not just younger actresses but older actresses as well, because they are very few and far between, and that needs to change, and it is changing, and it is getting better. And the group, you know, the industry is really taking to it now, and a lot of people who are producers and quite powerful people and companies and organisations are getting involved. So, yeah, we're definitely seeing a change. So it's good.